Do you feel that this, for example, switching into a bit of your perspective on technology for just this segment, do you feel that AI will allow us to, with having more freedom in terms of repetitive jobs rather,
Yeah.
do you think we'll have more free time to hone in into who we are?
Yes, I do. I mean, people, the reason why we right now, I mean, we would not be doing this 150 years ago. Neither one of us would have had enough time to do these kinds of things. We would be weeding, working on a farm, whatever. It would be really tough work. So we have been liberated, in part, through technology, making it easier to grow food, needing less people. And I think the same thing will happen with the AI, that there will be more leisure in general. Not 100%, but there'll be more leisure from AI automating things that we prefer not to do ourselves. But also, I think an additional factor pertaining to our earlier conversation is that AIs, while they'll be very intelligent, very smart, smarter than us in many dimensions, they're never going to be. They won't think like us. Their kind of intelligence is not human-like. It's slightly different. It's like Spock on Star Trek. And because of that, I think there'll be multiple species, hundreds, maybe thousands of different species of AIs, different qualities, different strengths, different personalities. And I think the advantage is that we can use them to help us think different. I mean, going back to the agenda of us is that we want to think a little differently. That's the genesis of the new wealth in this era. We're coming up with a new idea, something different product. And that's hard to do when you're connected all the time and you have total world universal connection. So the AIs can actually help us think differently and can help individuals try out and figure out how to do something a little differently than everybody else. And so I think that's the second virtue of the AIs in people's lives.
Yeah, it seems that in a world driven by all of this rapid acceleration of technology, AI, this little piece of advice that you say on Excellent Advice for Living is that, quote, experiences are fun and having influence is rewarding, but only building some stuff that matters makes us happen, do stuff that matters. I'm botching it a bit there, but the question here is, in a world driven by AI, what stuff should we build that would matter? Like what is the thing that we should focus on an earlier age? Because it seems that, like you say, all of the repetitive, boring jobs, at least, I'm hopeful, honestly, will be replaced. So where should we lock in and focus our attention to?
Yeah. Just to clarify, I think it's the tasks that we don't want to do that can be automated. And some people will want to do them, just to be clear. So it's the individuals. Like I might not want to, let's say, fill out a spreadsheet, but some people would because they enjoy that kind of work. So it's different tasks that are being done, and the question of what do we, where does that leave us? I think there's the short answer is we don't know how this AI thing is going to pan out. We think we know what intelligence is, but we have no idea. We have no theory of it. We don't have enough that we cannot predict where it's going because we don't have any theory about what it is that's being replaced. And as we imagine an economy where people are certain tasks are being certain, you want to know, well, what can we do? What can an individual do? How can we figure out what we're good at when robots and AIs are so good at so many things? I think this uncertainty is going to be around for a while, and I think it's also going to take a long time to penetrate. Even though these things seem very smart right now, I think this is going to take a decade for their impact economically. And maybe it's like self-driving cars. They're still going to be a decade away. So that means that there's lots of time to figure things out. And I think the best way to figure them out is to try and use them as much as you can. I don't think everybody is obligated. I don't think you have to use AI. But if you want to have some opinions about it, then you have to. If you want to make some decisions about it, then you need to use it as much as you can. And so I think there's time to figure these out, and I think we're going to figure them out incrementally. So there's something I call thinkism, which is the fallacy of believing that you can figure everything out by thinking about it. And I think this is one of those cases where we're not going to figure this out by thinking about it. We actually have to use it a lot, day to day, to kind of really figure out what it is. And so I'm a proponent of people trying to use these as a means to thinking out. If you're uncertain about it and care about it, then use it as much as you can. And that use will inform what we think about it. So right now there's a lot of attention paid to imaginary harms, meaning harms that we could imagine. There's very little actual harm from AI. It's all imaginary harm. And I would rather have a kind of an evidence-based policy. So let's base it on what actually happens. And so that's going to take a while. So I guess I want to divert a lot of the speculation about AI to say we have to remember that it's primarily speculation. And all we have right now are the Hollywood movies, which are all dystopian, which tell a very bad, horrible story about AI that's going to rise up and kill us. It would be good to have alternative